Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a really interesting company called Nirvana, which essentially has just raised $57 million to make some interesting AI moves in the commercial trucking insurance space. Not something that I typically think a lot about, but they've raised a ton of money in this AI space, and I think there's a lot of really interesting implications of that and why they're able to actually do that, what they're planning on doing in the future. I think there's going to be some big impacts. So today on the podcast, I'll break it all down for you. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Nirvana Insurance, which is a startup in the insurance sector, of course, has harnessed the power of AI, telematics, Internet of Things technology, right, IoT stuff, and a bunch of different trucking data. I think they have over 15 billion miles worth to essentially revolutionize commercial fleet insurance. And now they're backed by this huge round of capital, right? Over $50 million that they've just raised. So I think in a really significant development, the company has successfully closed. This is their Series B funding round. Like I mentioned, $57 million. And this is an all equity investment. So this funding boost is going to essentially facilitate Nirvana's continued expansion of its data-driven platform. They're going to, of course, hire a bunch of people. And it's also going to drive some further growth in a sector that, since it was started back in 2022, has seen a huge, I think, like 30-fold increase. So the Series B round is led by Lightspeed Venture Partners, top VC firm here in the US. And they had some participation from General Catalyst, again, top firm, Valor Equity Partners. And I think importantly, this whole funding was propelled by Nirvana's valuation. It essentially pushed their valuation all the way to $350 million post-investment. So Nirvana Insurance essentially confronts a persistent challenge in the trucking industry. So the vast majority of truck fleets operate as small businesses, often grappling with really small margins. So Nirvana's co-founder and CEO, who is Rachel Goel, highlighted this issue saying, quote, 90% of fleets have less than 50 trucks, and that rising fuel costs compounds their struggles. Insurance represents a significant portion of their overhead. Typical insurance premiums can amount to $15,000 to $20,000 per vehicle annually. So this is a cost that continues to rise. Furthermore, I think the whole process of getting quotes and policies can be really challenging. Of course, for everyone that has a normal vehicle, you can just go get something quick with Geico or, State Farm or something else like that. But trucking is a whole nother ballgame. So it's often taking weeks just for you to get a quote back when you're doing commercial trucking. So I think all of the inefficiency extends to the time it takes to process claims, right? Drivers get quite sidelined, I think, for extended periods of time if they get in some sort of accident. So Nirvana Insurance's innovation is really kind of set up to address a lot of these pain points. And they're leveraging a wealth of sensors already embedded in commercial trucks. They use this to analyze the data collected by creating novel risk models. So essentially, this enables faster or more accurate quotes tailored to each customer's unique needs with improved tools for claim management, right? Obviously, going to try to streamline it and make it better as a whole. But what I'm really interested in is the whole AI aspect and how they're able to essentially gather all of this data from all of these trucks. They got sensors all over the trucks. They gather all of this data from them driving, and they're able to create AI models that are predicting, what the costs are, what the risks are. And so they can actually become, the company's still profitable, but this is way, more, affordable for these truckers. So Guel explained, quote, "We leverage billions of data points from sensors on trucks to build risk models. No one else is doing this." While commercial trucks may appear less high-tech than, like your average consumer automotive, right? We're thinking of like Teslas, and a lot of the other new cars that are coming out now have a lot of cool tech. And you don't really think of like commercial trucks as being in that same space. But there is a growing trend towards technology integration in the whole sector. So back in 2017, a federal mandate actually required all trucks to have electronic logging devices installed. So currently the US has around 18 to 20 million heavy trucks with these devices, and there's a substantial global market. So in the lighter truck category, approximately 30 to 40% of vehicles are equipped with these type of devices, right, that are essentially gathering information. And even older trucks are being retrofitted or replaced within a 10 to 15 year refreshment cycle. So I think, a lot of this is going to get embedded in even the older models. So Guel observed, saying, "There is a wave of IoT adoption in the trucking space. I think beyond risk modeling, Nirvana has equipped its platform with tools that enable customers to file and manage claims using dashboard camera images and other data. And these cameras and sensors capture a whole bunch of different driving behavior, including braking patterns, lane changes, horn usage, and more. So I think the data collected from all of these sources supports the development of an AI system that calculates premiums. So those deemed safe by Nirvana's AI get discounts of 20% on their insurance, while if you're not deemed safe, you're not going to get the discounts. So really is kind of rewarding good driving behavior. So Ravir and Jan, who is a partner at Lightspeed Ventures, said, they really just is talking about Nirvana's disruptive approach, and said, quote, "Commercial fleets today produce a tremendous amount of data, yet most insurers still insist on a cookie cutter approach to insurance that does nothing to incentivize safety. Nirvana is bringing insurance into the modern age, changing how the industry considers risks." And he kind of underscores the immense potential that AI and data analytics hold in fleet insurance, especially, I think, in light of the expanding IoT fleet management market. So very interesting, and it's a really interesting, use case of essentially gathering all of this IoT data from all of these trucks, building AI models, and really being able to predict, who's more likely to get in a car crash, who's more likely to have issues, and the people that are less likely, based off of the AI model's prediction, are going to get discounts for, their safe driving.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast, where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.